Arcane Mage, maybe. Boomy. Boomy also very strong. So, boys, here we go. I'm going to explain marksmanship, all the tips and tricks of my knowledge, and why I take certain talents over other talents. So, let's get right into it. Lone Wolf, because it gives you 18% increased damage, kind of a no-brainer there. I run Black Arrow just because it does shadow damage. It's very useful for when someone uses Blessing and Protection, because you can hit through Blessing and Protection with Black Arrow and Arcane Shot. I don't take True Aim because, I mean, it does just buff your damage, but I don't think it's that great. And I don't take Lock and Load because I feel like Lock and Load doesn't proc enough. I'm going to go on the Marksman, or Mistweaver here, actually. I do take Post Haste just for the movement speed increase and immunity to movement impairing effects. We'll get some of this off. Gonna stun him there. And I use Patient Sniper just because it increases the damage of your vulnerable by a decent amount. I'm gonna try and disengage here, throw a trap. Okay, didn't hit him, so I'm probably, maybe, more likely to get boned here. And again, the situation of Blessing Protection hitting through it with Black Arrow and Arcane Shot is kind of shown right there. I'm gonna interrupt that Chaos Bolt, throw Windburst out, throw 2 aim shots into him while he has the vulnerable debuff on him. I'm gonna try to feign death that, probably not gonna hit it, so I'm probably gonna have to turtle that. And I'm gonna feign death here. So let's go back to my talents. I use Binding Shot just for the stun. I don't really take Wyvern Sting or Camouflage. Sentinel and Explosive Shot, I don't like them, so I don't use them. Gonna try and stun this guy with Binding Shot. Just kidding, he's gone. So I use Volley just because it does extra damage. You can use Murder of Crows. I don't think Barrage does that much damage, so I don't think anyone really takes it. I'm gonna use that there. Probably shouldn't have. And I always take Trick Shot because it just makes your aim shot hit for extra damage. And I feel like Sidewinders, I don't like being restricted to that one ability for focus generation. And I don't like Piercing Shot because I feel like it doesn't do enough damage for the amount of focus it costs and the fact that it just kind of drains you of your focus. I don't really like that, so that's why I pick these talents again, going over them just again real quick. Lone Wolf for the 18% increase to damage, Black Arrow for the magic damage, Post Haste for the movement speed reduction. It's not for movement speed reduction, for the immunity to the movement impairing effects, and gonna throw a trap down. I could have lived there. So, Post Haste for the movement speed and immunity to movement impairing effects. Patient Sniper because it just increases the damage of your aim shot. Every 6% for every 1 second that you do have your vulnerable target. So that's, I think vulnerable lasts for like 7 seconds around there. Yeah, 7 seconds, so damage taken from aim shot increased by 42% for 7 seconds, and that increases every 6 seconds. So that will add up to, I believe, almost 100% increased damage. So that's why I take Patient Sniper. I take Binding Shot just for the stun. I take Volley because you don't have to think about the extra damage, and it's just extra damage. And I take Trick Shot because it makes your aim shot hit for more. And I don't like Sidewinders or Piercing Shot. So that's why I take certain talents. I'll go over this as well. I take Quick Shots just for the haste. Just lets you get more aim shots off. And faster as well. This warrior's going to charge me. Something like that. He's going to do something stupid. We're kind of getting pooped on here, guys. Hate to be the one to tell you guys this, but I'm gonna have to turtle here, too. Cat-like reflexes, I mean, it's good for melee. That's mainly the main reason why you want to take that increased dodge chance versus melee. I'm so dead here. Gonna throw that down, knock him out of it so it stuns both of them. Gonna just run away. Oh, God. What are you doing? So again, he used Bop there. I'm just going to be able to hit through Bop with Arcane Shot and Black Arrow. And I take Ranger's Finesse just for the heal. The heal from Ranger's Finesse is very strong. Pretty much gives you reduced cooldown on your one ability. I don't think I can feign death that, so I'm probably dead here. Yeah. I take Explosive Trap just so I can knock people out of my Binding Shot, and that just gives you a 3-second stun. And then Viper Stings. Any of the Sting trees / talent trees you can just switch out based on who you're trying to kill. Along with this as well, switch these out with what you're trying to play against. Feign Death is very nice when you do have burst coming in. And yeah, that's a talent. I'm going to go over why I use certain abilities and all that jazz. So right here I use True Shot Aura. Going to use Wind Burst and a Mark Shot, Aim Shot, Mark Shot, Aim Shot, not Aim Shot. I'm butchering what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Arcane Shot, Mark Shot, because it applies the debuff. I'm going to get 2 aim shots here off, just so I can Exhilaration. I'm going to interrupt that. I'm going to stun him, knock him out. Okay, whatever. Stunned himself, anyway. So again here, he's going to try to use aim shot, I bet. I do have an elemental, and like everyone ever on me, so. I'm going to feign death. Still dead. Yep. Wow, what a lovely battleground to showcase the skills of Marksman Hunter. Pretty much. Hold on. There we go. Need to click on that guy. Use volley just for the increased damage. It just makes you get another auto shot, pretty much. Killed their healer. 'Twas my goal. So the rotation behind Marksman is pretty much you use Arcane Shot, apply your Mark Shot, and then use Aim Shot while they have that vulnerable buff on them. And especially with this build, you're going for the late aim shots on the vulnerable debuff, because those late aim shots do extra damage. So you'll see here, my aim shot will probably hit for a decent amount, hit for 500,000 there, so that is a decent amount, I'd say. Again, going to apply the vulnerable debuff on that guy. If he didn't run away, I would have been able to get a aim shot on him. We're going to go on the Death Knight here, that's next to me, and Wind Burst does apply a vulnerable debuff. Going to apply the vulnerable debuff, use aim shot. I do have turtle up here, so I'm probably going to use that since everyone is going on me. We'll be able to kind of not burst, but just do damage to this guy here. Battleground's also over, so again, apply the vulnerable debuff, get death gripped. Pretty fucked here. Gonna try and trap that guy, gonna interrupt that chaos bolt, gonna feign death, gonna disengage away, and that's kind of my getaway right there. Death Knight, or the Pally's still on me, could really give less shits about him. Again, just Wind Burst there to apply the vulnerable debuff, and then throw 2 aim shots into him. And again, since these 2 are stacked on me, I can use multi-shot to apply multiple vulnerable debuffs on this guy. Slash these 2 guys, probably dead here, yeah. So that sucks that this battleground has turned into getting spawn camped, honestly, but well, we'll use cooldowns one last time. Again, True Shot Aura, Wind Burst into 2 aim shots. Gonna try and get a few more aim shots off here as well. He did use Bop, so all my damage is pretty much gone. We can still hit into that Bop with aim shot and Black Arrow, but couldn't really do much there. Again, kind of an overview of this. You want to apply the vulnerable debuff with Arcane Shot and Mark Shot. Once you have that vulnerable debuff on, you want to get aim shots into the window of the vulnerable debuff. Once you do get those aim shots off, usually you can get like 2 off, 3 if you're lucky. Once you get those aim shots off, you're going to have to reapply the vulnerable debuff with Arcane Shot and Mark Shot. Use Black Arrow whenever you can, just because it's extra damage and does do shadow damage, so it does do significant damage. I mean, it's always kind of at least in the top 5 of my damage. And then Wind Burst whenever you can, because it just does a ton of physical damage and also applies the vulnerable debuff and just does a ton of damage. And that's pretty much Marksman. It's not too much to it, so Marksman is just Marksman. What's a